Alright, hello everybody, welcome to the stream if you are tuning in. My name is Charlie, and tonight we are going to be starting with some Stormwreck Isle, the starter set that was released in the fall. We are going to start playing through that, so if I can have my players introduce yourselves, you can, like I said, share something about your character or yourself, whatever you'd like. So, Matt, you are up first.
I'm Matt. I'm playing Balric, Stout Ale. He's a dwarf ranger, actually. Yeah, he's just kind of out currently looking for pelts and just about anything else that he can in order to try and craft better weapons and armor, and just looking for basically materials. And he actually stumbled upon Duper while he was out looking for pelts, because he was tracking a rabbit, and it just worked out. So,
well, I'm glad that you didn't skin Duper. Thank you for that. Derek, you're up.
I will be playing Parag Witherson, a high elf wizard. And he is going to be hopefully not as evil as I planned him to be.
Alright, Devin, you're up next.
Hi, I'm Devin. I am going to be playing Duper Thundermint. As Matt had previously stated, he was being tracked by Balric, and they had a very slight, very brief conversation. Duper is just out trying to look out for the little creatures in the realm, so hopefully he gets a chance to do that while making new friends.
Awesome. Gavin?
I'm Gavin. I'll be playing Leoric, who's really just a knowledge seeker. A little bit awkward, as I am, and just seeking to learn more about everything.
And Ren.
I'm Rin. I am playing a Warforged cleric named Constellation, who was frozen in time staring up at something in the sky that had long since passed, reawoken by our tinkerer friend Leoric, and is now traveling with them to figure out what it was that paralyzed Constellation all those eons ago.
Awesome. Alright, so you all have found yourself on a ship that is heading to Stormwreck Isle. And so far, so the ship has left from the Sword Coast. It's traveling along the Sword Coast, and it departed from Neverwinter was the last stop that it was at. And it is early evening. You've been told that the ship should arrive to the area in the morning, and everything, seems to be going well. Some of you may have been on the ship for longer than others, but nothing seems to be too out of the ordinary as you're heading to Dragon's Rest. As you're on there, you can see the captain of the ship, who is, when you would have gotten on, would have asked for payment, kind of gruff with the group. She is a half orc, and she has a heavily scarred face. She has this wild mane of hair. It's gray, but with some red still mixed in, tied down underneath a bandana. And you would call her beautiful, but like she definitely portrays these powerful features. She has this authoritative nature about herself. And then you also would take notice of Rackham Brine. He's the first mate. He's muscular, tattooed. It's very clear that, like, he's been on the water for a while. He's a gnome, but don't let his stature deter you. He definitely kind of commands a presence while he is on the ship. And, they are definitely busy their crewmates about the ship as well as you all are setting sail. And give me 1 second. Oh, I thought I made this easy, but I didn't. I wanted to share the pictures with you. You will see it when you see their tokens, I guess. Because I'm not a genius. Okay. So as you all are sitting about the ship, is there anything that your characters would be doing? So you have crewmates that are on board, working. There's a couple other people who are traveling to the Isle as well.
I'd just kind of be like maintaining my armor and stuff like that. Just scraping away at it with some leatherworking tools.
Making Bulric kind of the main person that I know on this ship. I would just be kind of conversing with him, more or less just kind of visualizing how he's working this armor and kind of keeping an eye out to see if there is anyone that seems to be in distress or they are looking for someone to kind of give a shoulder to cry on.
Leo would be somewhere just where he could be alone, either in his room or up in the crow's nest, just reading and studying and stuff, going over different formulas.
Parag would be away from everybody, almost out of sight, reading his spell book.
I think Constellation would probably be top deck, and despite the, I assume, daytime sky, would be hanging onto the side, staring up into the heavens still.
Looking for any sight of stars that may come your way.
Yeah. Despite, again, I assume it's daytime, correct?
Yeah, it's like, so it's kind of, it's evening, but the night sky hasn't come out yet. I would say it's probably 5, 6 o'clock, so still early. It's
Yeah,
not
so
winter,
Constellation would be watching for that change in the night sky, try and catch the stars appearing.
Nice. Super and Balric, as you are sitting amongst each other and you're working, leather working, you see a probably late teenager come kind of around the corner, curiously looking at the two of you. And he's a human looking at Duper, looking at you, watching as you're working with your tools, and he kind of like gets close to you, and he's like, "Ah, is that so you can eat him?"
Oh, this one talks. I would need him.
Yes, I do not think it to be quite wise to come at me and myself. I may be short in size, but I do pack quite a big punch there, young one.
Oh, sorry. I haven't seen anyone quite like you, I suppose. Are you all adventurers?
I guess that's what I could be called.
Is there something else that you could be called?
Well, I
Are you pirates?
several. Oh no, several years ago I was a clan crafter.
A clan crafter. What does that? What do they do? What do you do? Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah, I'm working on armor and swords and shields, anything that I can. Just kind of keep the time rolling and continue honing my craft.
Ah, you so getting better at it. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's what I hope at least.
So like practice. You're practicing.
Yeah, I've been practicing for a very long time, and now I'm traveling to practice more.
So have you ever sailed before?
I can't say I have. This is the first time I've been on a ship.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm honing my craft, if you will.
Oh, are you a sailor?
Well, I mean, not yet, but I want to be. You gotta practice, right? That's what you just said?
Yeah, with enough time, I think you could be anything.
Ah, now you sound like my granddad. He says things like that too. I'm not really sure what he means.
All in time.
Uh, I suppose I should let the two of you be. Sorry for interrupting.
There is no need to be sorry, young one. We are all here in the same world, trying to better ourselves and honing our spiritual ways.
What are you honing?
Oh, a long time ago, my family was hurt, and I turned myself to God. And ever since, I had made a vow to never let another small creature come of any harm.
So you're honing being protective.
In a way, yes. I'm I am one for equality in this world. There has been times where gnomes and dwarves and even herringons like myself to have been treated poorly for their small size.
You know, I think I can understand that. last year I was like a foot shorter and people weren't very nice to me, but now I'm a foot taller and it seems a little different.
Yes, and with me only being, about 3 foot tall in total, it's hard to catch the attention of the rest of the world as they are moving about in their everyday life.
Yeah, but don't you think sometimes that's better, not catching the attention?
Sometimes, maybe yes, but other times, there is a chance you can make a difference. And if the whole world is moving too fast, they miss it.
You see him kind of contemplate the philosophy behind what you have said, and he goes, well, I suppose I should, like I said, let you all be. So I'm going to head out. I think it's almost dinner time. Don't forget, dinner is important, especially since we probably won't get to eat again until we get to wherever it is we're going. I can't really remember too much. I think we might be making a stop before everybody stops, but I'm not too sure. Alright, well, bye. And you see the young one scurry, off, clearly looking for perhaps mom, dad, or someone, as they do. And as you all are, sitting about, you do hear a bell, being rung. And you are able to assume it is dinner time at this point. And you see people who are making their way towards the middle of the ship, moving down the stairs, and I will put you all on a ship here in a second. Okay, so you might be able to see some tokens that I didn't... It's not like any encounters, but they're tokens for moving. But it's hard on my end to tell if they're invisible, so they're just to move you from one level to the other. Just as a FYI.
As I see kind of like everyone start to hone towards the center of the ship, I'll just kind of get up, and I would assume that Balric is going to come too, and then we just kind of funnel in with the crowd.
Yep, I do too.
Alright, and here we go. Alright, so right now you all are on the... Actually, let me move you all. There we go. Then you can. Okay. So you all are on the main level of the ship. And so dinner for you all is going to be the next level down, which, having been on the ship for a while, you know that you would need to go into that entryway and go down those stairs that are down there. And you can see people who are moving in that direction, heading out to go grab some dinner. And you saw the child, the two that were talking, you saw him head in that direction as well. So if you're wanting to head to go grab a bite, you can. If you want to stay on the main level, if you want to find someone to talk with.
Leo will stay on the main level, kind of just enwrapped in his work, not even really noticing people moving around him. He's kind of very oblivious of the world around him.
Okay. Yeah, so you are staying up on the main level, not really paying too much attention to what's going on. Fair enough.
Constellation just kind of mindlessly follows a in like an old leather kind of torn up journal now produced. Um, their head just kind of turned down as they scribble in this notebook.
Okay.
Seeing the crowd make their way to where the food is, Parag will try to slip into the crowd and be unnoticed as he grabs his food.
Make me a stealth roll to see how unnoticed you are.
Oh, that is a nat 20 at 22.
Yeah, you are able to just kind of blend in, and you seem as though you are like meant to. No one like takes notice. You just kind of are flowing with the crowd, basically going unseen, but clearly able to, be seen enough to get served some delicious grub. As you move down to the level, and when you, you all are staying on. Yeah. So you make your way through that door, and you see the stairs, you head down, you go, and you grab a plate. As you get it, you're not really sure, what's on it. It's definitely got some mystery meat vibes to it.
Ooh. Can I roll a nature check to try and see if I can figure out what's in it?
Yeah, go for it.
Perfect. Let me. Oof. I rolled a 6.
And you know that you're not eating rabbit.
Yes!
Like that just seems to be all that you were concerned about. Nothing else mattered, and so you feel good about it. Like you being on the ship for a while now, like, a couple hours at least, you were not expecting it to be exhausting. So like it tastes delicious to you, and you're pretty confident that, hey, you're not eating any relatives.
Perfect.
Long distance relatives, that is, of course. Okay.
As Constellation comes into the space, they'll just kind of like scoot past everybody, um, completely ignoring the food area and finding a seat next to somebody. Still, their head not coming up from their notebook, continuing to draw.
Yeah, so you mosey your way through and you head down to that bottom level of the ship so that you can grab yourself a bite. Oh, silly tiles not working the way I want them. Grab yourself a bite. You don't even really notice like what's on your plate or not, because you got your nose in the book and everything, so not really paying attention on what's going on around you. Okay. As you all, so who is sitting at a table with people? Who would like kind of sit next to someone if there were space?
I'd probably be sitting at like the same table as Duper, and if anybody else is sitting with them.
Okay.
Constellation isn't paying attention to where they're sitting and will just wander over and sit with them. Just mindlessly.
Okay, so you're sitting with Duper and Belric now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
As Harag sees... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, you go ahead. You go ahead. I like it when you all fill the time instead of me.
As Harag sees two creatures he has never seen before, he sits down with Balric, Duper, and Constellation.
This food is fantastic.
Yes, and I can see that it is not rabbit, so I may go up for another bowl.
I guess I didn't even think to check what it was.
The DM could Constellation make a nature check to try and identify it.
Yeah, go for it.
Alrighty. And I'm gonna use Constellation will use guidance. So that is going to be an 18 total.
Yeah, so Constellation is able to recall having, been sitting and perched and maybe taking in some information while people were talking about you, and as you're enjoying the stew, if you will, you seem to remember that they were talking about a recent encounter, and they had mentioned that the people who were coming onto the ship brought that food with them and had brought in some different like sausages and really like some like fine cut like beef as well that they had brought, and it's all kind of mixed together, so it definitely is like this like stew with like a bunch of mystery meat all combined together, but like nothing too out of the ordinary and stuff. And like for you, it seems well enough for ship food.
Mm-hmm. Constellation will like look up, and everyone kind of sees Constellation, just this hooded figure, almost like this, almost like a Jawa, where it's just like darkness and two like beady glowing eyes, and they lift their finger up and put it into the bowl and mix it around and pull it out. It seems to be some sort of concoction of cured meat.
Ah, that was very, very cool. You were able to just stick your finger in it and tell what it is. May I ask, who are you?
Well, Leo and Constellation will look around for Leo now.
He is not on the same floor as you guys, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I don't believe so. So Constellation look around. Oh, he is around here somewhere. I've been called Constellation due to, well, my affinity for constellations.
Is that what you were working on drawing before checking out the amazing stew that we're all eating?
Oh, yes. And Constellation will like wipe their finger off on their shirt and turn the notebook around, and it is like meticulously drawn um star charts and maps and constellations, what Constellation has been drawing and working on over their few months of travel with Leo.
Those are fantastically done.
Oh, thank you.
I agree. You must be able to know exactly where you are, even on this very big, vast pond we are sailing across.
Well, not exactly. If I had a frame of reference for what exactly the landscape looked like, I don't remember a whole lot. I know the sky very well. I don't know the ground all that well.
Parag, seeing Constellation showing off their awesome notebook of stars, he pulls out his own spell book and shows it to the crowd and says, "Why, I too have spectacular drawings." And has everybody, if they do, looks at the book, sees the only way I myself can describe it as satanic symbols. People burning, and just strange demonic symbols that you people have never seen.
Oh my, those are symbols. That's for sure.
Yes, but you need not fear them. I will bring them to light.
Could I do a religion check to see if Duper would know if they are evil symbols or a good symbol?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. Skills. 21.
Ah. Alright, with a 21, I feel like you would know some things. If you want to share what kind of symbol, like if they're evil, good.
It's evil. It's a necromancy cantrip that I'm showing you at the moment.
Well, why do you feel the need to follow this dark path? You almost seem as though you have a very bright future ahead of you. Why hold yourself down with this negative energy?
Well, the way I see it, there is nothing negative about joining them. If my father hadn't pushed me so hard to turn, I might have a bright future. But now, I live for the depths.
Even though you have lost the righteous path, if you stick with me, there is hope for you, my newfound friend.
The hope in me was lost when I lost half of my face.
Even though the past cannot be changed, If you let it define your future, you will never reach your full potential.
As this conversation has taken place, what is everybody else who is at the table doing? Like, are you listening to it, trying to just kind of stay out of it?
Just kind of listening, still eating my stew stuff.
Okay, as the group is talking, you do see one of the crewmates coming down the stairs, and he takes a look at the group and was like, you've chosen to eat at the box instead of at the table around the corner. I guess that's fine. Do you all need a drink?
I'd go for an ale.
Yeah, ale's pretty standard around here. Let me go get you all some. And he scurries towards the back of the ship, going down the stairs to grab some ale. And he's gone for a few moments, and then he comes back, and you're pretty impressed as he comes back and is carefully, like, juggling mugs of ale for you all, and it looks as though nothing has spilled from it, and he comes over to you all, and here you go. I'm sure eating that without something to drink might have been difficult for you. Name's Finn. How are you all doing?
Finn, it's nice to meet you. I'm doing very well so far.
The sea not too choppy for you?
It hasn't been yet, at least.
Oh, that's good. That's good. My first time out on sea, I feel like I spent more of it leaning over the edge than anything else. I wasn't very useful. I didn't know if this sea life was going to be for me or not. If you know what I mean. Thankfully, I've gotten better with it. Some ginger definitely helps if I feel sick, but I've done much better than that first trip. It was definitely something.
Well, that's good to hear.
I like it out here. It's much easier to see the stars than in a city.
Ah, is that what you were doing up top? You were looking for the stars?
Yes, sadly, the night had not passed since I'd walked down.
I see. Constellation, make me a perception check.
Sure. May I use guidance?
Sure.
That is going to be a 15 plus 3 plus 5, 28 total. Sorry, not 28. 23.
Well, that's a good number. That is my favorite number. So as you are talking, you do notice because so you all aren't like below deck, so like you have like, I'm not a ship person, so bear with me through this, but you have like the part where they are up top would be the map that we started on, and so that was showing like that upper level, like where the captain would be looking out and, steering the ship. And so you all are like right below, so you're on the main deck, you're not like below it, so like you can definitely see the sky. All of that to say you can see the sky. So as you are talking with Finn, you do catch a glimmer of a star that has appeared in the sky.
Yeah, Constellation will just track it with their eyes, and as they continue to talk and like listen, their gaze will not shift from the star. They'll just continue to watch it.
Yeah, noticing that something has caught your eye, then is like, do you see a bird coming? Do I need to duck? I don't want to get pooped on again.
No,
And-
just the first of many starry children making their faces known again.
And he like looks up, and he is looking, and he's like, you know, I don't see it. Are you sure?
Constellation will try and point it out to him.
Yeah, so you try pointing it out, and he's like squinting and looking, and is like, yeah, yep, I see it. Yes, you do have a knack for finding the stars, don't you?
Well, my eyes have not failed me. I've been told that they work better than most.
Eyes that work better than most would be good aboard a ship. Any chance that you'd want to stay and become part of the crew?
Constellation like sits and thinks for a moment.
I'm sure you have other places that you need to be. Are you getting off at Waterdeep, or are you heading to Dragon's Rest?
Dragon's Rest, I believe.
As I check to make sure it's the right name, because I feel like I've called it 15 things already. It is Dragon's Rest. I got something right today. What's taking you to Dragon's Rest? Are you hoping to slay a dragon?
Not in particular. I'm not fond of harming things. I just want to get a better view of the sky.
Does Dragon's Rest have what do you call it? That thing that you know helps you so you can see better the sky? That there's something that can help with that?
A telescope, if you mean.
Yes. Do they have one of the large telescopes? Is that why you're heading there?
No. Well, I'm not entirely sure. My past is in the sky, and we believe that part of it might lie there.
How do you think they make those telescopes? Do you know?
Does Constellation know how they make telescopes?
Make a history check?
Sure, I have a decent history.
I mean, in all realness, when were telescopes invented? Yeah, they probably don't exist yet, but we'll go with it. Constellation, we'll go with it.
They have spyglasses, right?
Yeah, well, apparently telescopes were not invented until 1608, in case anyone needs to know that. And I mean, to be fair, I don't teach astronomy, so at least I got that going. But I feel like as a science teacher, maybe I should have known that, but I didn't. What did you roll?
I'm rolling decent tonight, so that's going to be 25 total. 18 plus 4 plus 3.
As you were talking to Finn, you realize that perhaps you know more than most do. Most people have only heard of, something that could be used to view the night sky better, but don't actually know if it's real or not. But you seem to have envisioned what that would look like, even though others may not have even thought of it yet. Look at that. Look at that backtrack. I did good.
Constellation just invent the telescope?
I think so.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, amongst the group, I'm sure you all probably could, right? Leo could definitely help with that, probably, with that artificial fissure thing going on. You guys are going to make the telescope by the end of the campaign. We'll travel 200 years and make it right.
Absolutely.
I'm skilled in jewelry, so I can make the glass that we need.
Who needs a iron defender when you have a telescope?
There we go.
True.
I guess I'm more shocked that it took so long to make the telescope. But there had to be something, so maybe not a telescope, but they're definitely, like, how are they all going in these ships without being able to see further than... Yeah, see, I feel like that's basically the same.
Yeah. The Constellation, kind of thinking about that and finding it odd, will brush it off as maybe esoteric knowledge from the time they spent before they can remember, and look up at Finn. Well, if seeing is a good trait to have on a ship, maybe I could grant you part of that blessing for a temporary time, if you might find that useful.
Finn kind of looks at you and tilts his head and... you know, I was always told I wasn't the brightest. I think I'm going to need you to say that a little more plainly for me.
I will show you a little more plainly.
Yeah,
And-
see, that's the best way for me. That's how I learn, is if I can see it, then I can copy it.
You will see it, for sure. And Constellation will turn to the rest of the group. Anybody else have trouble seeing at night?
I can't be the only one that struggles in the night.
I see all right at night. It's nothing too bad.
Well, we'll see how good you see compared to me. And Constellation will grab, previously hidden by a scarf, a small pendant that looks like an orrery of planets. Will grasp it, and their eyes will glow brighter. And Finn, let's see here, Duper, and let's do the buddies, Duper and Balric. Finn, Duper, and Balric will gain dark vision out to 300 feet. Ooh.
As
So-
you were...
All of their eyes will begin to glow just like constellations.
As you were doing this, night is descending upon the group, and, Finn, is watching intently and trying to, make out what it is you're talking about, and then, kind of squints a little, and is like, I feel like I can see more tonight than I could last night at about this time. It's like the horizon never ends.
Finn, and Constellation will point back into the sky. Can you see that star now?
Finn kind of looks at you, shuffling a little bit, and, was it that obvious that I couldn't see it before? You know what, though? Yes, I can see it, and it's bright. I don't know how I couldn't see it a few moments ago.
This is incredible. I'd be able to see forever in the mines.
Did you used to work in the mines?
Well, Don't all dwarves work in mines sometimes?
Oh, I thought that might be stereotypical. I wasn't sure.
Well, at least most mountain dwarves do, and that's a fair amount of what I did as a child.
Ah. Yeah, I see. My father, he was a blacksmith, and so he had me, helping in things often when I was small too. I have some pretty bad burns from it all. So like that, you all just start helping with, I guess, the family business, if you will.
Well, I guess somewhat. I was kind of just brought into it. It's growing up in a small town like mine. You always kind of just have to find whatever you're good at.
You were brought into it, so were you born in the mine? That's kind of interesting.
Well, pretty close at least.
Ah. Well, pardon me for asking, but is that why dwarfs are able to see at night because they're born in those dark mines? Is that how that works?
Yeah, that, as far as I know at least, that's the reason that I've always been able to.
I guess it makes sense. You don't want to be stuck there in the dark, unable to see. Like what a welcome to the world that is. Hello, pitch black. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, and the fire down there to be able to see would probably just smoke you out.
Ah, I mean, I reckon you wouldn't. Would you want a lot of fire down there? I feel like that could be. Ooh, that could be risky. What if a fire happens?
That's a lot of that dust is very flammable, so.
Oh, so. Ooh, that could be bad. Yeah, wouldn't want that. All right, well, I should probably go back to sweeping the deck or something. The important things. All right, Leo, as all of this is going on, where do you think, because I know you're not with the group, where do you think that you would be? What do you think you'd be up to?
Leo would probably still be like on the deck, probably just by a rail, probably by the front of the ship, just kind of just sitting, reading, listening to everything going on around him,
Okay,
and
so do
just
you think you'd be on that, like, upper part? Like, are you pulling a
yes,
Leo and Kate Titanic move?
yes,
Without Leo and Kate?
just Leo.
Perfect. Yeah, so as you are up there, and I will move your token up there. Mostly because it's really fun for me to do that. As you're up at the front of the ship, you do at some point notice the muscular gnome fella scurrying up and climbing up to the top, and he sees you there and says, or he apparently has moved down a floor. He sees you up there and he's like, I just thought I'd check in and make sure you're not sick and getting sick on the ship. We don't want it smelling.
Oh, yeah, I just seemed to lose track of time. Got distracted. It's weird. I don't really lose track of time all that much. He's pretty good at that. Um, yeah, no, I'm all right. I'm just kind of just reading up here. It was quiet. It got quiet up here. That's probably why it got quiet up here. Uh, Probably just because of the timing. Is that what that bell was?
That you haven't had a chance to grab some ship famous stew.
Nah, I mean, I can keep reading and not eat, but I probably should eat. But this book is interesting.
Oh, what is it that you're reading?
Oh, it's mathematical formulas.
I thought you said you were reading.
Yes.
You it's been a while since I've been in school, but last I remember reading and math. Well, my tutor, those were two separate things when I was trying to learn a thing or two. It didn't work too well, but
Well,
you're
you
saying you're
see,
reading math.
yes, the beautiful thing is with formulas, you can create things out of numbers. And so, say if I you know, I can produce a lightning bolt. I can't actually. I haven't figured that one out yet. But like, say I want to fix this part of your ship right here, where he points to like a splintered wood. You put some mathematical formulas together, and it's math and magic, and it's like reading, but it's putting things together. And he casts mending on the piece of wood that he was talking about. See, just carry the two.
Um, he looks at you. Rackham does, and he's just like looking, and you have definitely like gone above where he is at, and especially with speaking so fast. But like he nods and he's like, "Well, at least my big toe won't get a splinter there anymore. That darn spot. It was always I always had to sit and pick out splinters, and like you look down and you see like there is this big hole in his boot where his big toe is poking out, and he's like, "Yeah, it was a pain. So thank you for that. So you're one of those magic people."
I dabble. It might not be the ship that's the problem. I think you should get new shoes.
What's wrong with the ones I've got? I didn't insult your shoes. Why are you insulting mine?
No, I'm not insulting your shoes. I'm just saying if you don't want splinters in your big toe, that might not want a hole in the. You know what? Never mind. Yes, I do dabble in magic. I just want to know everything I can, and it seems like this con- combining physics and all of this math and calculus and physics. It's so interesting to create magic with all of this.
Uh, can you do anything fancy? Like some can like make different lights and things, and it's pretty neat to look at. Can you do that?
I hold up a rock and it repeats the same message he just said
Ah,
using one of my magical tinkerings.
well, that's me. That's interesting. You should probably what's it called? You should definitely make sure that put it in your name so no one else can do that. Make it your own. 'Cause that's something that's definitely gonna be useful. I feel.
Yeah, I think
If,
gonna call it a Leoricaphone.
yeah, probably phone for short. Leo
Yeah,
Rickaphone.
probably.
That's too much. I can't say all that. Wow, look at
Phone
us
might be
all
easier to say.
invent. We're making telescopes and phones. We got all this. Y'all didn't know what kind of campaign you signed up for.
I should check on my friend. He can get lost in the stars very easily. Um, do you know where Hooded Scarf guy went? Moved a little
Yes,
robotically.
and I think the people you're looking for, they're right down below. And he points, and so like where you're at, they are actually all you're in that spot, but it's the way the map is, it's layered. So like
Mm-hmm.
he points, he's like, you just gotta climb down, and you'll be there with them. And it's nightfall, so you probably want to if you're one that eats, you probably want to see if there's anything left, and pretty soon it'll be time to to call it an evening, either myself or one of the other crew members will come and make sure that you all have a spot here in a little while.
Yes. Are we still heading in the right direction for landfall?
And he picks up like his hand and is doing that thing like trying to kind of listen to the wind and point. He's like, north is this way, I believe.
Lyric will point north because he always knows where north is. North is that way.
That's what I said.
Yes.
And he turns himself so he's pointing in the same direction that you had said. I definitely made sure that I checked to see if anyone had that because I felt like it would come up tonight.
Yes, I do have keyboard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes,
That's exactly what I said.
Yes, I see that. Just wanted to help confirm that with you. And we're still all prepared for the morning, correct? All prepared for getting the ship by tomorrow?
Oh yes, yeah, we are right on course. The captain, she likes to make sure that we never fall behind whatsoever. So I have no doubts that this will be a peaceful journey for all of you.
Well, I mean, it has been so far, so I can't blame you guys. You've been doing a good job. I should probably go eat some food. And he'll walk away. That's the end of the conversation for him.
Yeah, as you exit, you can see, like, he's kind of just standing there, kind of, kind of tugging at his beard, like, huh, I guess that was goodbye. Okay. You go and you join the rest of the group, I suppose, is where you're heading.
Yeah, and he'll sit next to Constellation and kind of slide Constellation's bowl over to him.
Constellation without fuss or rebellion. This is their routine. So. Oh, hi, Lyric.
Hi, Constellation. I got lost in reading again. Almost forgot to eat, but a nice dwarf reminded me to.
Yeah. Sometimes I remember to remind you. Sometimes I let you read.
Sometimes I forget to remind myself. How does stars up tonight?
As you refer to the first mate Rackham as a dwarf, you hear him. It's a gnome. I'm a gnome. Gosh darn it.
Oh yes, no. I forget to sometimes. Yeah, sorry.
It happens more often than not. Enjoy.
It really does.
Yeah, he'll just kind of start eating. How do the stars look tonight, Constellation?
Oh well, they haven't been making themselves entirely present yet. Still waiting.
This must be the friend you had mentioned previously, Constellation?
Oh, yes, this is the one who woke me.
Ah. Well, it is very nice to meet you, Mr. Or Mrs.
Is the bunny talking to me?
Yeah.
I didn't think I learned that spell yet.
Yes, the bunny can talk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my name's Leo. And what would your name be? Bun Bun?
It is very nice to meet you. My name is Dupa, and I am a Herringon.
Hang on, hang on. I think I've read something about those.
Yes, most of us try to stick to the shadows, but we do come in many shapes and sizes. We range from 6 foot all the way down to 2 foot. And as you can see, I was not born with the gift of height.
Yeah, I can see that I almost mistook you for a normal rabbit. My bad. Oh, I'm just getting everything wrong with talking to people today. First I call him a dwarf, and I call him a bunny.
To be fair, I am technically a bunny.
And he'll open his notebook. Paragon sort of equals bunny, but don't call them that.
To be fair, you're doing better than I was when I met him. I was trying to hunt him, so
Yes, I thought this man was a straight hunter, but I learned tonight he grew up in a mine. What kind of man goes out and hunts a rabbit when he was bred for mining?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be able to eat rocks, so if he's not able to digest rocks, unless you are you able to digest rocks?
uh, I've never tried actually. But no, I didn't only mine. I've also, well, I've done a lot of leather work and a lot of metal work and just a lot of work in my life. I'm not that old, but I'm fairly old, so.
And you've never tried to eat a rock.
Not that I remember. Maybe when I was a child, but.
Maybe.
Leo,
Alright.
did you still have that rock on you?
Do I still have a rock on me?
I remember you carrying
He
a
takes
rock.
off his shoe and kind of shakes out. Yeah, I got a pebble.
Constellation takes the pebble and gestures over to Balric.
I'll try and eat it.
All right,
Do
you're
I feel
eating.
full or?
You're eating a pebble.
Yep,
I guess
just-
make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oof, only a 6.
So as you go to take this pebble and try eating it, first, you're kind of overwhelmed with the aroma of it. Having been shaken from a boot. But you're going for it, and you begin to choke on it a bit. You're like standing there coughing, and I know for sure the Heimlich wasn't invented yet and everything, but the classic symbol. But like you're clearly choking on this pebble.
He works back to his book. Can't eat rocks. Will choke. Constellation, do you mind helping him out?
Oh. Hmm. Constellation will wander over and attempt to help him dislodge the rock.
Give me a medicine check. I feel like that's one I never have anyone roll.
I am quite decent at medicine checks, so. And I will use guidance. That's gonna be a main.
I mean, it would be pretty bad if I killed one of you all by a pebble. But I'm game.
For
So that's
science.
8 plus 2 plus 5. 15.
at first you're not, like, too sure what to, like, not necessarily what to do, but, like, do I want to try to dislodge this? This is somebody I just met that's pretty close and personal, but you overcome that. I guess you tell me, how would you dislodge a pebble?
I think Constellation would open Balric's mouth and reach down into his gullet and pull the stone out.
That is one way of doing it.
Hold your thumb. Try not to gag.
I also just noticed that I accidentally rolled a dex save instead of a con save, so that would have been worse.
I mean,
I
you learn
noticed that
something new
after
every
we
day.
were too far in, I saw it was a dex save, and I was like, we'll just go with it.
Happy little mistake.
You managed to find that pebble, and I would assume you're reaching for some ale after choking on a pebble, but you're okay. Maybe a little hoarse.
Yep, that I can't eat rocks.
That is good to know. I'll be sure to let.
information.
It is useful information. So that is why he had to go out hunting, because he can't eat rocks.
After seeing what I had just witnessed, I feel almost as if my much smaller arm may have been able to help a little bit, but it lacks the length that yours does, my friend.
I don't think you'd want to go into his mouth. I'd fear he'd bite your arm off. Just because he's hungry.
Well, and my fur would get all matted, so it's probably for the best that you took that one for the team.
I've stuck my hand in worse things.
Why does that not surprise me?
Anyway.
Man, we have gone everywhere. We're inventing phones and telescopes and an alternative to get out pebbles. So at this point, you all have been sitting and talking and trying to digest pebbles. It is dark out at this point, and the sky is full of stars that just seem to stretch endlessly, and the little light from the stars, is reflecting off of the water, and it's kind of like a beautiful dance, if you will, with the shimmery lights and the glow that it's producing. And you can see Finn is clearly, most impressed with his ability to, like, see further out, and is, like, leaning over the, like, rail, kind of looking and seeing what it is that he can see, going out further in the ocean, and is pretty impressed by being able to see, especially now that it is much darker compared to earlier. And as the group is finishing up eating and talking, Rackham, he does climb down, and he approaches the group, and I reckon you all might be ready to turn in for the evening, whether sleep or relax or whatever the case may be. We have hammocks set up. Unfortunately, you all, didn't pay too much for this ride, and you were some of the last folks to get on board, so You are at the very bottom of the ship, so you have a little ways to go. If you want to follow me, we can head to the bottom, and I can get you all squared away.
I'll follow him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I will take my leave on the top deck, if you do not mind.
I mean, it's just the deck, and the water can get choppy. You might find yourself splashed, but I suppose that's fine. Just make sure you stay out of the way.
Oh, of course. I tend not to move too much.
Fair enough. Well, the other four of you, are you ready to head to your accommodations?
I am.
Lead the way.
It would be nice to get away from everybody.
I agree.
Alright, let me move you all. I lost me, but it's okay. Alright, so you all come down to the bottom, so you have gone 2 floors under, and the first mate is looking at you all. Well, like I said, remember, don't expect too much from your accommodations here. I'm afraid they leave a little to be desired, but it works out. There are 4 of you, and you are going to be in these back 4 here. It may never mind, but I'm sure you will make do. There are 2 hammocks on this side and 2 hammocks on that side. You should be good to go.
Can I do a perception check to see if I see any small, like, clumps of straw or hay in a corner?
Yes, you can.
There we go. Oof. 5.
As you head towards the back and finding a spot to get set up in, you're trying to look for some hay or straw, and you just become overwhelmed with the aroma that is in the air, especially towards the back. It feels as though you might have been put in the outhouse toilet area, to say the least, and it definitely smells like such.
Oof.
So that has distracted you from locating any straw or hay.
Gotcha.
Like I said, it's, simple and maybe a little tight of a squeeze. But it should do just fine, I feel. Like I said, you'll be at Dragon's Rest first thing in the morning. Is there anything else I can get for the group?
I should be all right on my side.
I'm good.
This would do just fine. As I'm gagging in the corner.
Well, I mean, I guess if it wouldn't do just fine, you'd just be... what's that saying? Up a creek without a paddle or something? I mean, I guess you don't have paddles. What use are you all in this ship?
We're passengers. We're paying you.
You know, I think you just paid for your food, and like, I don't even know if it was enough to cover that. We served up a delicious stew.
I fixed your ship.
Ah, yes, my big toe thanks you. My apologies. I get gruff at night. I, sometimes I myself forget to eat, and then there's not quite enough to fill my belly up with.
He'll throw the gnome a little gadget which he's imbued that like at the same time every day it will go off to remind him to eat. Little alarm clock that he's imbued with a little bit of magic. That should help you.
Ah, you're quite the creative one, I see.
Hmm? I like it. I mean, it's just, I forget things sometimes, so I created these small things to help me, just remember to eat, sleep, take a walk sometimes. There have been a day where you haven't moved at all?
I tend to move. If I don't, the captain gets on to me, and I don't like that. Not, it's, like having, I don't even know, but I don't like it. When she's on my back yelling and telling me what to do, it doesn't feel good. So I never sit still, but I guess I can understand where you're coming from. You seem to get lost a little bit in your reading and whatnot. Well, if there's nothing else, I will leave you all to it, and I will head up. And if you need anything, you know how to get up to the top deck. With that, he takes off. Okay. Is there anything that you all would do before turning in?
Constellation is just on the top deck. Um, and with Sentry's Rest, we'll go over to a part of the deck that's like uninhabited and out of the way and sit down. And during Constellation's long rest, we'll just sit and stare into the sky for the entire 6 hours.
Um, are you up at the very top, like the upper part then, or would you be where you all ate?
The top deck of the ship where you could where there's the clearest view of the sky.
Leo and Kate top?
Yeah.
See, that's how much about ships I know. Okay. And I think somebody was starting to say something.
Yeah, just Leo, just ever curious, would cast Detect Magic, probably not get anything. Just seeing if there's anything magical around him that he can learn from in a 30-foot radius before he goes to bed. And if not, he will go back to bed.
I'm just reading. Okay, that's what I was looking for. One second. So as you are casting Detect Magic, and let's see where you were at. You do, get a sense that there is something... Oh, it does not tell me what kind it is. You were able to pick up that there is something magical towards the back of the ship in the crates, so back in this area back here.
Then yeah, before he turns in, ever-curious Leo will go rummaging.
Yeah, and so as you are rummaging, you do get a sense that it is from the School of Enchantment. And then, are you going to actually open up the crates?
Yes.
Okay. What are you going to use to pry open the crates? Because they are closed.
I will use a hand axe.
Okay. Yeah, so you go to the
Actually, I have
back...
a crowbar.
Perfect. Yeah. And that's easy enough. So you get a sense of where it is, and you pry it open, and you find what looks to be a trident, is what you end up finding. And as you are investigating and trying to figure out what it is, sorry, I'm reading. Okay, you can sense it. Okay. Like I said, you know that there's something magical about it, and that it's coming from the School of Enchantment. Aside from that, you're not too sure what else with it.
And I'll take that back to my bed, and before I go to bed, ritually cast Identify.
Okay. And then everybody else who is in in your areas, because you know they are kind of closed off. If you'd be just make a perception check for me. And do you think that you would have been quiet about getting it out, or you're just drawn to it and I gotta get it?
Just kind of curious, not even really caring about anybody around him. Kind of lost again, just not really paying attention to anything else around him when he finds that.
Okay.
I rolled a 4.
I got a 12.
I got a 13. Don't feel alone, fellas.
Well, since he had said that he wasn't really paying attention, I did set it at a 10, so anyone who had a 10 or higher, you do hear him at the back of the ship rummaging through the crates.
Woo! I failed.
The rest, you might already be asleep, or the stench is still too strong.
Yeah, I'm in my bunk, just dry heaving.
Yeah, you cannot hear anything above that. The dry heaves is too loud for whoever had gotten a 4. Too loud for you. Is there anything that Parag or Balric that you would do, having heard somebody at the back of the ship rummaging through?
I'd probably just kind of whisper over, Leo, what are you up to?
I found something.
Oh, okay. Well, sleep tight.
Don't you want to know? Okay.
Parag kind of peeks his head around and goes, "Why, my fast-talking friend? What is it you have found? I am interested."
Enchantment. Not sure what yet, but, this! And he holds up the trident.
That is a very fine piece of equipment.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn what it does in a second.
Well then, finders keepers, it is all yours.
I mean, technically it's the
I-
bow, but...
Technically, I didn't see you have it in your hands.
Okay. I mean, you did. Okay.
So you go through casting Identify, and you find it to be a Trident of Fish Command. So it has 3 charges. While you're carrying it, you can use an action to cast Dominate Beast from it on a beast that has a innate swimming speed and so on and so forth. I will link that into the chat for you all. I don't have a good channel.
I have added that to my equipment.
I should have looked at your spells more closely. Taking my fun away.
Hey.
Hey, I could have hid it from you, so I know. Alright. At that point then, I'm assuming we are turning in for the evening. We have Constellation up on the top, just kind of staring off into the galaxy. And the other 4 down below. Second. And then, Constellation, clarify for me real quick, because it'll be faster for me to ask than to look. Do you sleep, or like are you kind of like in that in between?
Yeah, so it's like I'll grab
Like
it
a
for you.
trance? Is it like
It's right here.
trance?
Yeah, so I spend 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state rather than sleeping. In this state, you appear inert, but it doesn't render you unconscious. You can see and hear as normal. So I spend 6 hours sitting and or standing in one spot.
Okay. Awesome. Alright, so as you all are asleep, and you went to bed, the skies were clear, the water wasn't any more choppy than you'd expect it to be, and everything seemed to be on course for you all to arrive pretty well in the morning, to Dragon's Rest. Okay. Real quick before I continue, because I'm a teacher, so I have a bladder of steel. Does anyone need to take any kind of break or anything before we move forward? Speak now or forever hold your pee.
Like a 3-minute break would be phenomenal because I have to use the restroom.
Like I said, I'm a teacher, so like I go all day, so then I forget that other people are allowed to use the restroom at work, so I wanted to check before.
Well,
Yeah,
if I
well,
ain't the only one, I'll quickly do it.
Well, let's do
Yes.
let's do a 4-minute break. We'll do 7:47 because it sounds cool.
Perfect.
right, welcome back. We are currently continuing with our ship ride to Dragon's Rest. Is where we last left off, and you might be missing a couple of people, but we can give a few minutes and then we will jump right in. Cool. So I guess while we wait for people to join, if you are currently watching, and you have not followed, please be sure to do so. I stream on Tuesdays from typically 5:30 to 8:30 is our goal. Tonight was a little later than anticipated because of me. I'm the problem, like the song. And then I stream on Saturdays bi-weekly at 10 a.m. Central Time, and then Saturday evenings at 6 p.m. Central Time. So if you are wanting to watch my AM stream on Saturdays, we are currently getting ready to go into Icewind Dale, kind of. We are doing like a little delivery package courier service thing that I found on D&D Beyond that will then lead us into Prisoner 13. And our Saturday evening is Lost Mine of Findelver, so, some Gundren, Rockseeker. And then tonight, of course, we are doing Dragons of Stormwreck Isle, which will lead into us going to Spelljammer once we finish up with that. Cool. We are just waiting on one. Anybody got a joke? Knock, knock. Nope.
Who's
No one.
there?
I have no idea. I was hoping you did. Somehow I ended up being funny, but wasn't the intent.
So a Harengon and a dwarf walk into a bar. No.
Well, so while we're waiting, I just want to say it's going to be really hard for me not to have my NPCs just, reach out and pet the bunny. I've been, restraining myself all evening, and it's been pretty difficult.
Well, and I am lawful neutral, so it's not like I'm gonna retaliate on anyone. I may just have a couple questions.
Well, and then I dropped the random token that, the little girl, and it was like, oh, she would totally be Looney Tunes and want to grab on, and then when you said the 6 foot, I was like, oh, she would totally be like, wait, there's bigger bunnies? But I'm trying not to be that person, so we'll see how well I do with it. Alright, Leo, you have to tell a joke everybody else did.
Oh, I do. I have to tell a joke. Wow, I was not prepared for this. I'm not a comedian.
Neither were we.
What did the chicken say when he crossed the road?
Not your nuggets.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
That's the same joke I told, basically. Great. Alright, well, if you stuck through us telling bad jokes and not really telling jokes, that's great. We are going to continue. And yeah, so everybody at this point is resting for the evening, and all of a sudden, up at the top deck, Constellation, you hear Rackham, yelling across the way to you. Hey, the one with the beady eyes! Can you hear me? And sorry if that was really loud, I didn't mean to actually yell, my bad.
Constellation will, without making any sort of noticeable expression, yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me, but you couldn't hear that. And as he is gesturing, you hear a loud bam in the distance as you hear thunder happening. Why are you just sitting there? And as you adjust to, being startled awake or to consciousness, you do like notice like the deck is unusually wet, and like it has taken on some water at this point, and I mean it's raining and stuff too, but like there's probably like an inch of water because it's not being swept off, because you're seeing the crew, they're like frantically running around, and Rackham bellows to you again. You had friends, right? Can you go get your friends?
Yes, is something going on?
What do you mean is something going on? Look around you.
It's weather. Yes, weather happens. Constellation is Constellation can't feel rain, so it's just like
Well, I mean, as you take a look around, you can see like where you once were able to see the shiny stars, and like it was a gorgeous night. Well, it has turned, and the sky is darkened, and it's this like it's even more dark than you would anticipate. Like not like magical darkness or anything, but like it, even to you being able to see out 300 feet, like it just seems dark, like it's like hanging there. The moon is shielded by the rolling ominous clouds that are going through. The wind has picked up and it's whipping the sails, and it's causing the ship to rock. It's rocking back and forth as these large swell of waves are crashing into it. And you can see lightning striking off into the distance, and that is like illuminating the cloud cover as it's happening. And you hear these loud, like, thunderclaps that are following, and the sound of them is deafening as you hear it hitting. And like, while to you it might just seem like weather, you can definitely sense like, ooh, this might be bad for the ship. You might not feel it, but the ship is feeling it.
mm-hmm.
Get us some
Constellation.
weather music.
Oh. Yeah, Constellation will take stock and like, not that Constellation is particularly worrying, but sees the worry of the crew and will form. Constellation will form a little star in their hand and speak into it. Wake up, please, and throw the star through the deck. This is Constellation casting Thaumaturgy. And I'll cast it 30 feet down. My Constellation's voice booms down in the lower decks. Would you wake up, please? And it's just Constellation's voice now, booming loud.
It's morning already. Constellation? Hmm?
If
Kind
you
of
all
peers
want
out
to,
from his little stall.
if you want to make perception checks and we can see like if you respond to it, we can do that for sure. I like that dice.
I customized mine.
Haha, 23.
There we go. 4 of you.
7.
14.
All right, anyone who is at 15 and higher, you immediately wake up to that, and then I would say, Belric, as everybody else is starting to kind of move around, that alerts you. Duper, you are passed out. You were passed the fuck out. Like, and I have, like, this perfect image of how, like, kind of, I know my dog's a dog and not a rabbit, but, like, when she passes out, it is, like, hard, and she, like, lays on her back and is just out to the world, and that is what I'm seeing happening with you, laying in your hammock.
That is honestly the same thing I was just envisioning with my dog, too.
Yeah. Well, like today, I came home and they were both like kind of sunbathing in the windows, and like the bigger one was just like laying there, like give me all the sun, right, and the sun was like right on her belly. So I think that's what's happening with you. All right, so you all, besides Duper, is starting to move around.
Is there something going on? Would I remember where that constellation went upstairs?
Mm, make me a history check. Let's see if you would. I feel like it's hard to say for you. Like you have your nose in the book a lot.
20 total.
Oh yeah, you would remember. Like you as you're coming to, you're like, oh yeah, okay.
I'll kind of just walk upstairs. No haste. He didn't get a sense of haste from the message, so...
Are you letting anybody
Rickle.
else know, or are you just going?
I don't think he would think to. He just
That's fair. I
kinda
mean,
go,
you all just met, so that is fair.
Can we just go, constellation's upstairs. Focus up.
Balric will just like kind of walk over and wake up Duper.
Is there already morning? It doesn't seem like morning. Actually, I would know if it's morning or not. I know the time of day.
And as Balric comes into kind of like my little section where my hammock is, all he hears is just coming out of my hammock. So
Like I said, he is passed the fuck out. My dog snores also.
And I thought I snored. And I'll just kind of like knee his hammock, wake him up a little bit.
Ulrich, what is the matter? Did you have a bad dream?
No, Constellation just said, I think it was Constellation. Wait, no, I wouldn't know that. I heard everyone else getting up. I think it might be daytime, maybe?
Already? Hey, I was just having a
As you are
buzz.
saying that, the ship has, I mean, unbeknownst to you because you're at the bottom of the ship, it is hit into a pretty large wave that sends, especially being on the bottom, like, kind of sends you moving. Make for me a dexterity saving throw. Anyone who is standing at this point, if you're on the ground, you're probably good.
I think
20.
at this moment I would have been standing up. And as I am doing this check, I'm also going to use my lucky footwork so I can add an extra D4 to this.
Okay.
Saves. Dexterity. Ooh, I don't know if I need it or not.
Alright, if you were above a 15, you were still standing.
I'm on the ground.
I'm on my ass.
If you were
Constellation
between,
also.
so a 10 to 14, you're stumbling, kind of like a drunk stumble. You haven't quite lost your footing. If you were below a 10, your ass has hit the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yep, on the ground.
yeah, like you're on the ground. You're not awake enough to know like what's going on. You haven't figured it out, and you've taken a fall. No damage or anything like that, but like you've tripped up a bit. And seeing up at the top, seeing Constellation having fallen, Rackham hollers towards you, "Be careful!" You're gonna end up in the sea! Like seaweed!
It's okay. I do not need to breathe.
Yes, but we need to get to where you're going.
I could walk. Never mind. Constellation will stand back up.
Alright, and then everyone else is working on getting up and moving. So I am assuming those of you who are down below, if you had armor, that you had taken it off to sleep so as to not be exhausted from it. So it might take you a little bit if you were putting it on. If you're just gonna walk up, that's cool too. I will leave that for you to decide, because since you're below, you're not sure if there's anything going on. You just feel like it's morning. I mean, you do feel the ship rocking, but I mean, ships do that.
Leo looks down and is in his PJs. He
Having
forgot to
felt
put
the-
on his armor.
Having felt the ship get rocked like that, Balric would probably toss his leather armor on just because it's kind of gives him a sense of safety.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of being woken up and Balric saying, I think it's morning, I'm just gonna pretty much get ready like I normally would for the day. You know, get up, kind of get my bearings and put my chainmail on and get ready to start the day.
Okay.
And after Harag regathers his thoughts after being knocked over by nothing, as he thinks, not being able to wear armor, he just gets up, brushes himself off, and begins to make the trek topside.
Okay. Yeah, so you all begin to go through getting ready and oriented to what you are presuming is going to be day. And in like reality, enough time has, and I know we haven't done anything, so like it doesn't matter, but like enough time has gone by that it is close to morning. Like this would be the time that you would be expecting to get up and get ready for the day, so it doesn't seem too out of the ordinary at this point for those of you still below deck.
So-
Go ahead.
There's a quick timing question. So, it takes Constellation an hour to put on and take off any armor, but Constellation can do that while resting, and because they require less sleep, would they already have their armor on?
I don't think Constellation has to take off armor when they sleep.
I'm not sure. I'll leave that up to the DM.
Let's go, let's go with, to keep it moving, that you have it on, and then we can look into that to see
Okay.
officially and go from there for future sessions. Cool.
Yeah, typically, what you know, me and Matt have done. In our campaign, I played an elf that had trance, and we always said that we didn't have to take off. Because technically you're not sleeping, you're just kind of standing there or meditating. So that's how we've always done it. But
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I like, to be honest, I'm not trying to kill you all, so like I want you to have your armor on, and two,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily care too much about the like, is it on, is it off thing. It's more, we're getting up and like, what would you be doing type of thing. But I do not want to kill you, so I want you all to have your armor.
Fair.
So yeah, as you all are making your way up, and once you do get to the top, and let me move just for easy's sake. So I was going to try to like time it. I'm just gonna put you all up top. Ish. Oh no, I lost one. There we go. Nope. I was super fancy and I used the tiles to move floors, and I don't think I like it like I thought I would. But
If you need help, I can set that up, or I can help with that in the future.
Oh, awesome! Thank you. I mean, there's just a lot of stairs, and I think I overdid it because it was late, and I was like, oh, let's do this, and I don't think it was good. All right, so you all do get your bearings. You get up, and as the rest of you are coming up the stairs, you hear Rackham again bellowing, and like the sound of his voice because of the storm that's raging on just kind of like carries through, like it's echoing off of all the rainfall and whatnot, and he is hollering, I thought I told you to go get your friends. What are you doing? He is unsure of where the group is and feels like it's taking forever. Almost as soon as he finishes saying it, he sees the others coming up, and as you all are looking out, you can see it definitely is storming. The rain is pelting down. It's stinging you as it hits those of you who can feel rain. And it makes it difficult to see. The wind is howling through the rigging of the ship, and the ship is pitching and rolling in the rough water. The crew is scrambling around you. Some of them almost run into you. They're sliding from the water that's coming as the waves are crashing over, coming on board, and you start to think this can't get any worse, and you should never think that. And almost as soon as you finish that thought, you see this massive wave that rises up over and comes barreling down onto the ship with bone-jarring force, and water starts flooding the deck, and the ship's taking on more water, and that storm is just raging on, hitting the ship from all sides. You're rocking back and forth. Some of you are probably, especially those who had fallen before, grabbing a railing, making sure you don't slide overboard, and that howling wind is just echoing throughout your ears as you hear it, and you are beginning to think, is this it? Is this the moment? And as you're
DM.
thinking that, yes.
Just in that moment, Constellation grabs their pendant, and the outline of Herug and Leo, their outline become constellations for just a second. I'm going to cast a bless on those two and myself.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool. And so as all of this is going on and you're thinking, oh, what is happening? You are brought back to, I've got to do something, and you hear the captain, Stormbreaker, yelling at Rackham, get them to help. They're just standing there. Get them to do something. And Rackham looks at the group. Well, you've heard her. You've heard the captain. What is it that you can do? There's got to be something you can help with. I will give you all a moment if there's something you think that your character would do, and then I can rattle off some suggested courses that you can take.
Leo will start taking a bucket and just kind of start trying to shovel water off of the boat.
Alright, let's do this real quick. Let's roll initiative. And just for the sake of going through like the order and checking in and seeing what people are doing.
Can.
Oh, why is it not adding you all? I love technology. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Oh.
It was a me thing. Per usual. No. Balric. You had a 4. Let me add you. Cool. Alright, so as you all are getting kind of your bearings, Leo, you said you were going to you're going to find a bucket and start trying to get the water off of the ship, bailing. That is the word to use.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, make me a... Make me, an athletics check.
All right. Where's athletics? There it is. Natural 20.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Heck
so...
yeah.
Yeah, so you quickly, having gotten up there pretty quickly, you find a bucket and you do start bailing the water. I mean, it, like, you're getting a lot of water off, but almost as soon as you get it, it's coming back up. But you are doing your part, and the crew members, they look at you with a appreciative kind of nod, acknowledging that you found something to be useful at. Okay, and then Constellation, what would you be doing?
Um. Hmm. Jeez. Could I? Could I stand at the front of the ship and potentially help navigate the captain, pointing out like rough spots and trying to help the captain steer towards calmer waters?
Yes, make me a perception check. So as you're standing there, the captain hollers to you and, "Hey, you've probably got the best view right now. Let us know if we're going to hit anything."
I will warn you. And I'll make my perception check. 12. So that is 12 total.
Awesome. As she says that and acknowledge and stuff, you see a rock that is sticking out, probably like, I would say 150 feet to the left side of the ship.
I will point that out, make that known to the captain.
You point and you see her standing at the wheel and like she's turning, trying to make sure to adjust, and like she, with the waves and everything, kind of having that ship going back and forth. The ship doesn't end up hitting that rock. Okay. Harag.
Well, not liking getting wet or water in general, Harag is going to go to the side of the ship, and not knowing entirely what the captain wants him to do, he's going to use his 50 feet of rope and tie himself with 10 foot of that rope to the side of the boat.
Are you just like bracing yourself for what might happen?
Yes. Yes.
As you begin tying yourself to the rope, you see one of the crew members, and you recognize him to be Finn, looking at you, and who's like, "I don't think that's what they meant by secure things, but at least you're secure." And he goes back to running past you, clearly knowing how to respond a little bit better than you do. Okay. I like it though. Duper, what would you be doing?
So, with where Duper is now, about how much water is kind of standing in this section of the ship?
Let's see.
It's taken on water.
At that point, there looks to be, and I mean, and it's so hard for you to tell, right? Because you like the waves are crashing up over. I mean, you definitely are waterlogged yourself at this point. Duper is not dry, and like the ship rocking back and forth. There are points where it feels as though like you barely have your head above the water.
Okay, that was what I was thinking. Is if this thing's taking on a lot of water, I'm in trouble. um, I am going to look around and see if there is any other passengers that are on this section of boat, and I am going to see if I could kind of get them to higher ground so they're not like I am and about to drown in a pool of water.
Okay. Um, Remind me because I am like Dory the fish. Constellation, did you cast dark vision on Duper?
It only lasts for an hour, so it would have been
Oh yeah,
long gone
it's
by.
long gone.
Oh, oh no. Oh no.
So keep that in mind, like, cause you know with all the rain and stuff, like
Right.
you're probably pretty. Like there might be small glimpses of that moon giving a little bit of light, but you are pretty
Mhm.
much in darkness, my friend.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, this is not great. So for my quick glance around and realizing that I am not able to see pretty much anything, I will make sure that in my immediate facility, I am going to start to reach around and see if there is any cargo and try to get that out of the water. So I'm
Okay.
feeling around in the pretty much lake that I am looking at, and I'm going to look for any sort of perishable items or, God forbid, if I find anyone under the water,
Okay.
I am
Um.
going to try and get them out.
Okay, cool. So, a couple of clarifying questions with me having dumped that onto you. Do you think that Duper would be, because I just dropped your tokens, like, would Duper be in the middle, or like once he hit the stairs and realized, shit, like it's super dark, would he
So,
have gone out?
so kind of what I'm thinking is with Duper being the last one up and having to put on his chainmail, I would think that he would have been the last one to come up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So, kind of as Constellation and everyone else is kind of like starting their, what they're doing for the ship, he would have come up the stairs and is pretty much somewhere in this vicinity where
Okay.
he is. So he's kind of coming up last minute, kind of thinking, "Oh crap."
Alright, I'm gonna have you make a couple of checks. So, the first one is a perception at disadvantage.
Okay. Ooh, that was my best perception of the night.
Oh,
Ooh,
look at that.
aha!
That's nice. Okay. And then make me. Sorry, I'm trying to think through what I want to narrate for you. Okay, so you said you were trying to, like, if you could find people, grab them. So I would say, athletics or. I can't. Acrobatics, either one of those, you can pick which one.
Okay. Do you want that one at disadvantage too
No,
because of
because
the water?
I'm going to go with no on it. Like,
Okay.
unless you think you've never been in water, then you can decide.
Okay. I'll just roll.
Yeah, like let's go.
Oh
Oh shit.
no.
Okay, my friend. All right. So as you are trying, like, you come up, you stumble your way through, and you're like, okay, secure. I can secure things. I'm gonna, you heard Finn mention that, and you're like, yes, I can do that, and you're kind of running through. You actually end up where, you can see these nets to climb up, you know, to the sails and things. You end up tangled into those nets. Like, at first, when you were running by, or would you be hopping by? Just a little
So
rabbit humor. I was just being
right,
funny.
yeah.
But as you were thumping your way by, you do end up tangled into the nets that are going up, and right now you are kind of stuck in the net with that water crashing around you. Not like a huge problem at the moment, but you're definitely not helping too much. I mean, you're able to kind of feel around, and you feel a small package that you are able to grab onto, but like your feet are caught into that net.
Okay.
Yeah. Balric, what would you like to be doing?
Um, well, I guess seeing the other two people who are down toward the bottom here, one of them tying themselves to a flooding area, and the other one caught kind of in nets. Uh, I guess I'll try and get to the higher ground up by the captain here, just to try and get closer to ask what needs to be done right now. And while I'm going up there, if I can try to grab Duper, I'll try to, but uh, I don't think I'll quite be able to. I don't know exactly how far that is, 20 feet or so.
Yeah, and you're going past super. Um, make me a. I don't know why I'm blinking. I would say acrobatics for trying to grab Duper.
Hey, a 21.
So as you're moving up towards the top of the ship at the back end, you are able to, like, as you go by, you kind of press down on that netting, and as you do so, Duper is able to pull his legs up out of it so that he is not caught in that netting.
Woohoo! Perfect. And then do I get all the way up to the top here?
Yeah, you can go all the way up to the top, and so you get up to, or
Oh Lord.
yeah, that's a me thing. See, I thought I was being
Oh,
cool.
okay.
This was a late last night thing, and I see all the errors that I have made with it. But it was really fun. When I was testing it by myself, it seemed super useful. And I'm sure it is. I just overdid it. Okay, so you get up to the top, and I would say Rackham is definitely not, like, standing right there. Like, he is running around and stuff. But, the Captain Stormbreaker is standing holding, like, and you can just see, like, her knuckles are just white from trying to steer the ship as you come up. And are you doing anything to get her attention?
Yeah, I'll just basically be like, Captain, what needs done?
She, like, she's standing there in, like, tense moment, and she's like, you can't see anything that needs to be done? Like, I'm sure you can see something. I mean, you can pray, you can try to help the crew rally their spirits. I'm sure there's something that you can do. And like you can tell she's losing her patience, and she's like, "Okay, I apologize. I realize you are not my crew. Can you strike the royals? Is that something you feel like you could do?"
Sure.
And if you're like me and you have no idea what that means, it means that you're climbing to the top of the main mast to lower the highest sails that are up there to help stabilize the ship.
Okay.
So,
I will try and do that.
okay, make a dexterity, or sorry, acrobatics check for that.
Acrobatics again. Oof, that one's a 10.
So you are able to climb up there, and definitely not graceful with it by no means, but there's like this moment of calm as you get up to the top, and you like latch on to that moment where everything just suddenly seems calm, and you're able to quickly get that um the sails lowered, and you feel like the ship kind of steady itself out, and everyone at this point, like, I mean, the ship is still kind of crashed because those waves aren't going to instantly go away. Like, it's still crashing, but like the sky and just kind of the like the thunder and the lightning, it seems as though it has paused for a moment. And when that happens, you hear Captain Stormbreaker. You hear her shout, "Ah, shit!" And I feel like this is a great place for us to call it for the evening. All right. Anything that you all, before we exit the stream, that you would like to, maybe your character might do in that moment, or say as you hear the captain shout that "ah, shit" really loud, and it echoes through the evening or morning. We're in morning as it carries through.
I think Constellation would not trying to perceive what is going on, turning, finding Leo, and just getting as close to Leo as possible, um, expecting to have to brace for something, wanting to be close to their friend.
Okay.
I don't believe there's anything that I will do. Other than wish I would have put my armor on.
Can we use like abilities and stuff?
Yeah, if you want to, that's fine. Because I'm
Oh,
gonna jot down notes, and then we'll kind of like pick up right there.
okay. It doesn't take an action, but as I get up to Leo, I'll grab Leo's arm, and Leo will get visions of the night sky. This is a familiar sensation to him, and I will give Leo vigilant blessing. Um, Leo now has advantage on the next initiative roll he makes.
Okay. Cool.
So
Duper.
after Bulric had freed him from being entangled in the net, does he still have that one box?
Yes.
Okay. So after being freed and seeing how much trouble that he is actually in this section of the ship, he is going to try and take the box up the mast in the center to try to be of better help without being almost submerged in the water.
Okay. Harag, what would you be doing?
After hearing the captain scream out, I'm going to use my action to cast Tensar's Floating Disc. And on my next turn, I will be on top of a disc. That is,
Okay.
let me read. It is 5 feet off the ground. So I'll have to cut the rope on my next turn.
Okay. This, like, that, so, full transparency, this was I found it, last night and was like, I'm gonna run with this, and this has turned out pretty far beyond what I thought it would, and I like it. Alright, Balric, you were up, what would you do? I
Well,
guess you
so
were up there.
I figure I didn't really have much time to really react, so you kind of let me do like a couple of different actions in my last turn there, so I figured climbing up there and everything would probably be what I was doing. So
Do you think you would brace onto it as you're up there? Because it's kind of like a pole.
yeah, I
Okay.
think I probably would try to, but
Okay. Alright. Well, then that is where we will pick up next week. So if you're watching on the stream, we will be back on next Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time until 8:30 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Yes.